had the SEC coaches call today, and I asked him how your hiring him went down. He said he turned you down like 3 times because he thought he had a great job there in Austin, and that you flew down to Austin. He said basically recruited his wife too. But why did you want to hire Chad? Why were you so persistent when he kept turning you down?
Well, obviously, the number one thing was, Gus and I's relationship, and Gus and I made some magic there in Tulsa, and so together, and Chad would come up and study with us, so we knew. One, I knew what kind of person he was. I knew exactly what kind of. He was a perfect fit. So when I'm hiring a position, I built a profile for what I'm looking for, and he had everything that I was looking for. And when it come to, he believed in the same philosophy we believed in. He knew the same system, had the same terminology because he'd studied in our system, and I realized it was this kind of. He'd been a coach in high school for 20 years, so it was just tough for him to take that next step, and especially when your high school head coach is very successful. But I bet he's glad he did. I bet he's glad I went back 3 times. But no, he did. That's a true story. He just said, Coach, I just don't think I can do it. I just don't think I can do it. And just in my heart of hearts, I knew that he needed to do it.
And so you flew down to Austin, Well, what do you think you said to finally push him over the edge to where he took the job?
Oh, I just, what the biggest thing I told him was pray about it. And I think that's what their family did, and finally they got a piece of it. And I'm convincing. I think he knew I was genuine, and I think he believed that I would do what I said I would. And he wasn't with us 8 months, and then he became the highest paid offensive coordinator in the country. So it worked out pretty good for him, and I'm pretty proud of him.
How tough was it to lose him to Clemson after just one season?
To me, at the end of the day, man, every guy that I have on my staff, I'm very proud. I have 8 assistants that have gone on to be in 12 years to be major college head football coaches, and I'm proud of every one of them. I'm offensive coordinator at Notre Dame, offensive coordinator at Auburn. I mean, we've got guys all over the country, and so I always want them to do what's best for them. And I feel like every place they go, we expand our tree and we expand our influence in making a difference in kids' lives.
Transition's tough. You mentioned about having to just adjust what you try to do when you have a transition.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is when you come in and everything about it is different. You're trying to go from A to Z, and it's a challenge. But the one thing I tell you, the things that Chad Morris brings, the values that he's going to instill, the things that are going to build championships of the future, you haven't seen those things yet. And what he's going to do as far as building relationships, positive relationships, building men of character, and being able to instill his system in. And so, it's tough, but there's no doubt in my mind I have 100% belief in it.
Have you visited with Chad on this trip, gone by to see him, or have you guys talked on the phone?
I will.
So you're planning to talk to him later today?
Yes, sir, later today.
Have you talked to him on the phone recently?
No, I haven't. I talked to him before to see. One of the things that I never do is, during the football season, man, it's you're pretty swamped. So I try to give him some space, and then he knows how I feel about him. He knows he has my support.
What would you say to Arkansas fans that are ready to jump off the bandwagon or maybe jump off a bridge or something?
Well, it's what I said today. I mean, is I talked about the things that that winning matters. And there's no doubt in my mind you have the right guy. He's going to build championships because I believe in him. I hired him straight out of high school, and that was my belief in him. And the same guy I took to South Bend, Indiana, with a 21-point underdog and beat him and won championships with. And so and he did the same thing when he went to Clemson. He's been around the programs to do that. It's just the transition's been difficult, and I think it's been a lot more difficult than anybody would anticipate. And no one's more focused or more motivated, I promise, than what Chad is. And there's no doubt in my mind he'll get it done.
When you go from a pro style like Dean Moran and the big lineman to what he's trying to do with his offense, how tough is it?
It's almost the biggest challenge is the tempo of things. Is we believe in going fast and efficient. Well, it takes training. That's off season. That's weight training. That's everything that you do. You have to train that way, and it requires 100% discipline. So when you huddle up and it's slower, it's very methodical. It's the opposite of that. You're trying to shorten the game. We're trying to lengthen the game and create a fifth quarter. And so you know that is, you know, it doesn't do you any good to go fast and mess up. So it's trying to get that instilled, and it's so opposite. It's so opposite that's where the challenge is. And but the good news is that I can tell you got the right guy to get it done.
You get to be a casual viewer on Saturday. You got two former offensive coordinators going against each other. Just seeing that as a former head coach of those two guys.
Yeah, I take a great deal of pride. I mean, obviously, the biggest thing is I know what they're doing in young people's lives and teaching them to live championship lives and impacting their faith, their family. I mean, these, you know, I'm very proud when I watch that to see the impact that they're having, and you know, and it's pretty cool to watch. You know, so like I told the group here, I guarantee one of my guys is going to
win. Those guys are both real close friends. They both talked about it. How hard do you think it is for them to play, you know, in an SEC West?
Not hard. I mean, football's football now. I mean, it's just like it'd be the same as if me and Gus and Chad go out to play golf. I'm going to try to beat them. They're going to try to beat me, and that's just the way. These guys are intense competitors, and obviously Gus has got a job, Chad's got a job, and they're going to go at it. There ain't going to be any friends on Saturday. But you know, after the game they will be, but not during it. I guarantee you that.
Last I looked, Auburn was a 30-point favorite. You said, if I understood right, you think that Arkansas might do better than that. Maybe not beat them.
I'm not giving any predictions or anything like that. What I said is that the one thing that would help tremendously, is to buy in is being successful. And so, you know, what I hope is we rally these guys and they can go out and they can be successful on Saturday.
You think Arkansas can give them a game?
I have a great belief in Chad and what he can get done. I think there's a lot of work to be done.
You talked about being a 21-point underdog going to Notre Dame, and what do you tell your team like that going into an environment like that where you're expected to get beat like that?
I think because everyone expects you to lose. I think it's so important because kids know. They can look in your eye and they can tell, you know, how you feel about that, and you've got to believe. And I first and foremost believed it, and everybody on our staff believed it, and we all had everybody pulling in the same direction. When you're in a transition, sometimes you think that's an easy thing to accomplish, and it takes a little bit to get everybody pulling in the same direction, and that's what needs to happen and that's what I encourage people to do. It's been tough. It's been really difficult, and it's not okay. But you got the right guy doing it. Give him an opportunity. It's going to take a little bit of time. The transition's been tougher, but he can get it done. And here's my whole deal: is that's all you need. Go out and get it done, and then it changes everything.
Now, knowing Chad like you do, how is he going to get this thing going when it looks like it's even? People thought it was going to be tough. Now it looks like it's even tougher than people imagined.
Well, I mean, when you talk about character, that's what defines you. That's what exposes your true character is adversity. And that's a lot of adversity. He's facing a lot of adversity. And what you're going to see is a man of character show what he's made of.
And, there's a lot of social media out there. Some people are already saying, man, it looks like he's in over his head if he lost to Colorado State and lost to North Texas. What would you say to those critics?
I've never looked at message boards or social media or any of that stuff. The great thing about football is you get to play it on the field. I would encourage the fans to evaluate the season after the season, and let's see where we're at then. And all the other stuff. That's what makes college football great. That's why it's fun, because everybody's got an opinion. And the bottom line is you win or you don't. And that's what's great about it. You get to play the game.
Do you think